Picture this. 3 animals from the Triassic period standing right in front of you. I tell you only one of them is a dinosaur and you have to point. Go on, pick one. Chances are you would probably pick the wrong one. The first dinosaurs looked nothing like the ones on museum posters. No massive skull, no horns, no armor, no neck towering over the trees. They were small, easy to walk past, living in a world already packed with bigger, meaner-looking reptiles. Here is what trips up even researchers who have spent decades on this. Nobody has ever dug up one perfect skeleton and said here it is, the first dinosaur. Every fossil we have got is already a finished product, already specialized. By the time dinosaurs show up clearly in the rocks, they are already split into different lineages. So the real beginning happened earlier, in a stretch of time we basically cannot see. Which means we have to work backward, and by the end, you will know something even most dinosaur nerds get wrong. Start with Eoraptor. Found in late Triassic rocks in Argentina, and it is probably our best window into what those first dinosaurs were like. About a meter long, roughly dog-sized. Light frame, long tail, back legs noticeably longer than its arms, built to run on 2 legs, not 4. Small skull, nothing dramatic. No huge slicing teeth, no weird crests. Just a small, quick animal built to move. That is the pattern to hold onto. The first dinosaurs were not shrunk-down giants. They were lightweight, fast, built around strong back legs and a long tail for balance. Eoraptor gets even stranger the more you dig into it. When it was first described, it matched almost perfectly what scientists expected an early dinosaur to look like. Later, researchers debated where it belongs, and many now place it near the root of the sauropodomorph branch, the lineage that eventually produces giant, long-necked dinosaurs. Right near the start of a group that eventually gives us enormous, ground-shaking animals, you find something small and light on its feet. A fossil out of Zimbabwe hammers the point home even harder. Mbiresaurus rothai, roughly 230 million years old, one of the oldest confirmed dinosaurs found anywhere in Africa. Same branch as Eoraptor, but nothing like a sauropod. About human-sized, small head, long tail, light build, walking on 2 legs. If Mbiresaurus ran past you with no sign explaining what it was, you would have little reason to connect it with the biggest land animals to ever exist. And if you are imagining yourself there, do not picture a miniature T-Rex. Picture a light, alert animal surviving by moving before the bigger bodies around it do. So maybe the takeaway is simple: small, long-tailed runners, right? Nope. Around that same window of the late Triassic in that same part of Argentina, Herrerasaurus was alive too, and it throws the whole picture out. Big long skull, sharp teeth, powerful legs, grasping forelimbs. Not a small runner. A predator. That is the problem with drawing one clean picture of the first dinosaur. By the time the fossil record gets clear, dinosaurs already differ in size, diet, and ecological role. Whatever we can see clearly is not the actual beginning. To make it messier, the closest non-dinosaur relatives already had dinosaur-like traits, legs tucked under the body, some lightly built, some already on 2 legs. What separates a real dinosaur from these cousins usually comes down to small details in the hip, thigh bone, and ankle. Stuff that matters a lot in a lab and would have meant nothing if the animal ran past you. So the actual first dinosaur might not have looked special at all, just another small archosaur blending into a crowded Triassic world. If you were that animal, you would not know you were crossing some grand evolutionary threshold. You would just be trying to make it through the day. Now here is where it gets genuinely uncertain. Nyasasaurus from Tanzania, possibly around 240 million years old, way older than the classic Triassic dinosaurs we usually talk about. If it really is a dinosaur, the whole group gets pushed back into the Middle Triassic. But we do not have a full skeleton. Just a handful of vertebrae and part of an upper arm bone. That is the entire fossil record for this animal. No skull, no body plan we can really reconstruct. Some of what we have lines up with dinosaur anatomy, and the bone structure shows the fast growth pattern seen in confirmed early dinosaurs. A real clue but not proof. Researchers landed on either an extremely early dinosaur or one of its closest relatives, about as close as science gets to a shrug. Good evidence for timing. Basically useless for appearance. We do not know its face, its color, or what its skin looked like. In 2026, a study came at this from a totally different angle, not new fossils, new math. Researchers ran 9 anatomical datasets through time-calibrated evolutionary models. Their estimate, Dinosauria originated somewhere between 250 and 240 million years ago, roughly 10 million years before the oldest fossils we can call a dinosaur without argument. Near that origin point, skeletal change looks like it moved fast, which might explain why the oldest confirmed dinosaurs are already so different. If major branches split during that badly documented window, then Eoraptor, Mbiresaurus, and Herrerasaurus are not step 1. They are already several chapters in. So what is the best guess for that animal we have never found? Probably not big, not specialized. Light body, strong hind legs, a long tail for balance, legs positioned under the body. Most of the oldest known dinosaurs were bipedal, so the ancestral form was likely closer to that, quick, agile, than to the massive 4-legged dinosaurs in museum halls today. But size is only half of it. What surrounded that animal matters just as much. Early dinosaurs were not running the show. In some of the oldest well-studied fossil sites, dinosaurs make up less than 5% of the animals found there. The rest included thick-bodied rhynchosaurs, armored etosaurs, crocodile-line predators, and early cousins of mammals, many bigger or more visually intense. Now put yourself in its place. You are that animal, small, light, barely worth a second glance. Heat on your skin, dust in the air. To your left, something built like a walking tank could crush you without even noticing. To your right, something sleek and fast, shaped like a crocodile, exactly the kind of thing that eats animals your size. You keep still. You keep quiet. You have no idea what you are about to become. Right now, you are just trying not to get noticed. Zoom forward 150 million years, and that same bloodline produces T-Rex. That skull, that bite, that whole terrifying package, none of it existed at the starting point. It is more than 150 million years of change stacking on change. Same with sauropods, armored dinosaurs, and horned dinosaurs. That is what dinosaurs eventually turned into. And there is one last idea that flips the question on its head. When people ask what was the first dinosaur, it sounds like one animal appeared out of nowhere, obviously different from everything around it. But that is not how evolution works. Traits build up slowly, generation by generation. Whatever animal was technically the first dinosaur was probably almost identical to its own parents, barely distinguishable from the animals just outside that classification. So there may never have been a clean moment when the first dinosaur looked dramatically different from what came before it. That sharp line exists in our charts and textbooks. In real life, the boundary was probably a blur. From inside that body, there was no first dinosaur moment. No announcement. No boundary you could feel. The start of the dinosaurs almost certainly did not look like the start of the age of dinosaurs the way we picture it. No massive predator standing over everything, no herd of giants shaking the ground, nothing announcing that something new had arrived. The most honest reconstruction is far more low-key, a small, light, long-tailed archosaur, probably on 2 legs, living quietly among bigger, more dominant animals. What do we know for sure? By 233 to 230 million years ago, unmistakable dinosaurs existed, already diverse, small ones and big predatory ones sharing the same landscapes. What is strongly implied but not locked down? That the lineage started earlier. Nyasasaurus might sit close to that hidden starting point, and the 2026 study puts the real origin between 250 and 240 million years ago. And what do we genuinely not know? The exact first species, its face, its color, its skin, or exactly where on the planet this all began. So if someone asks what the very first dinosaurs looked like, the honest answer is not one dramatic painting. It is a range, boxed in by fossils and by what we are willing to admit we do not know. Small to medium. Light. Long tail. Strong legs. Probably bipedal. Nowhere near as specialized as the giants that came later and stole the spotlight. The animal near the beginning of dinosaur history might have been one of the easiest things in its ecosystem to overlook. So here is a question for you. Be that animal one last time, small, quiet, standing in the shadow of things far bigger and scarier than you. Everything around you looks more dangerous, more dominant. Sitting there, overlooked, would you have believed your kind was going anywhere at all? Tell me in the comments. If you are into stories like this, where we do not just hand you the answer but show you exactly where the certainty runs out, that is the whole channel. Subscribe and I will catch you in the next one.